Folks, it is a big Wednesday. The NBA is back in full swing. We got the Knicks playing tonight. We got the Hornets playing tonight. They'll probably both lose, but hey, I will cheer on my teams. We have AEW kicking things off with a really big episode as well, and we have video game news to talk about. And there are a couple stories floating around that I definitely want to cover. First off, we're going to talk about Google Stadia because things just keep getting better and better with Stadia. Then we have to talk about some new Nintendo Switch games, including a like challenge that will get you to play me a game that, well, it just looks absolutely bizarre. Then we're going to talk about Fallout, because Fallout and Bethesda are having a bit of a fallout with their fan base. And finally, Duke Nukem looks like he's finally gearing up to enter the Nintendo Switch, and I'm very excited for this. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what's going on in the world of video game news. First off, let us kick things off with Google Stadia, my favorite platform, something I've really been looking forward to, something I think is going to set the world on fire. I can't even really say that with a straight face. I've obviously been a bit critical of Google Stadia. I think it'll have somewhat of a place in the market, but I don't think it's going to take the market over by storm. And knowing how Google is with their products, in probably 2 to 3 years, they will abandon this project. But of course, Google Stadia is gearing up to launch, and it's launching pretty soon. On November 19th, people will finally start getting their Google Stadia pre-order kits, and they'll be able to play their Google Stadia games on any device that they want, well, as long as it's a PC, because there's lots of little asterisks going on with how you'll be able to play the games, including on cell phones and things like that. Really, it's starting out as just being able to play things on your Chromecast or on your PC. Well, of course, like I said, this is coming out on November 19th, so people that pre-ordered this are really looking forward to it. Of course, the initial offerings from Google Stadia were the Founders Edition that would get you a Google Stadia controller and a Chromecast in order to play these games on your television. They did replace that with the Premier Edition after they allegedly sold out of the Founders Editions. So you would think that on November 19th, people who got the Founders Edition, the first people that pre-ordered this product, would be able to play it, right? Well, maybe not. So Google basically did a recent interview with The Verge, and in this interview they said that it would be done on a first come first served basis, and some people that actually pre-ordered the Founders Edition would not be getting their Founders Edition on the day of launch on November 19th. So it's like, what? Like, I get it. You know, I had some issues with pre-order stuff myself when it came to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade 1-Up cabinet. I did not get mine before people were getting them in Walmart stores, but Arcade 1-Up is a small company, and this is an actual product. When you look at Google Stadia, what is Google actually offering? First and foremost, Google is one of the biggest companies in the entire world. But what is Google actually offering with this product? They're just offering a controller and a Chromecast. So the Chromecast is already available. So is it the controller that's causing issues here? You're not able to manufacture enough controllers for the launch of this system? Like, it's so bizarre to me how one of the biggest companies in the world can't manage to fulfill all of their pre-order issues going on with the Google Stadia. The whole point of pre-ordering is so that you get it when it comes out. And now that people that pre-ordered the Founders Edition won't be able to play their Google Stadia on launch day, it's just really bizarre to me. I don't understand this, and it's just another rocky step for the Google Stadia launch. So if you pre-ordered the Founders Edition, hopefully you'll get it, but you might not. So yeah, off to a great start, Google. You're killing it with this thing. It's going to be the future. I'm telling you, you guys are doing a great job. Next up, I want to talk about some games coming to the Nintendo Switch very soon that I think have little interesting stories that go behind them. First off has to be Haunted Halloween 86. Now, if you've been a long-time viewer of this channel, you might remember that we actually reviewed Haunted Halloween 86 on the NES back about 2 years ago or so on the channel. It's a side-scrolling platformer that actually really pushes the NES to its limits in terms of graphics and sprite work. It's a really fun game. There's a tag team mechanism as well. It's a really solid Halloween sort of style game that has sort of a creepy atmosphere to it. Well, Haunted Halloween 86 is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch tomorrow on October 24th. But what makes this game interesting is, since this game was designed for the NES originally and then brought over to the Nintendo Switch, it's actually the first NES game since Wario's Woods to be released on a Nintendo platform. So I don't know, that's just kind of a little interesting story that goes along with it. I think it's retailing for like $10. It's a pretty solid game. That's the second game in the series. They did Haunted Halloween 85, which was alright, but Haunted Halloween 86 is actually a pretty legit game. It's also available on Xbox One and Steam as well. So if you're interested in old school style 2D platformers, it's definitely a game worth checking out. But the next game is a game called Ottokuma Zoo, which it has to be one of the strangest freaking games I've ever seen. So I want to do a like challenge on this video. If we get 2,500 likes within 36 hours of this video going up, I will do a full video on Ottokuma Zoo, because trust me, you'll probably want me to play this game. So Ottokuma Zoo is, I don't even know, like I've watched the trailer a couple times. It seems like you're a firefighter that's saving Japanese villages, but you're just like wearing a loincloth and the water shoots out of your body and you could sort of fly around and stuff, and you can move your arms and legs independent of each other. It kind of reminds me a bit in art style of that strange PS1 side-scrolling shooter that had like all these big buff like semi-nude dudes in it. I can't recall the name of it right now, but I'll put a screenshot up of it right now. But yeah, it's definitely one of the weirdest freaking games that I've ever seen in my life, but I kind of like weird games. You might remember I reviewed that weird fighting game last year that had like Jesus versus Santa Claus in it. So like I said, if we get 2,500 likes in 36 hours of this video, I will do a full video on this game, and I might even do it in a loincloth for you guys. Alright, I'm just kidding about that last part. But yeah, this is a game that is coming out in Japan. It will be released on October 31st. It doesn't look like it'll be coming stateside, but it will have English support in the languages, so I will be willing to go to the Japanese eShop and purchase this game and play it for you guys if we hit that like challenge. Next up, let's talk about good old Bethesda, because Bethesda has been a company that they've been a bit disappointing as of late. Looking at their big titles, nothing has really set the world on fire, no pun intended. We of course had Fallout 76, which was their big latest game, and it just didn't really do well. It wasn't really what Fallout fans wanted. Doom Eternal looks really freaking good, but that of course was delayed until 2020. So how is Bethesda gonna make money now? Well, they're doing something called Fallout First for Fallout 76, and it's a monthly subscription service, and it's honestly just ridiculous. So the pricing structure of Fallout First is as follows. For either $12.99 a month or $100 a year, yes, $100 a year, you'll get access to some special things in Fallout 76. First off, you get private worlds. You can play in a private world with up to you and 7 different friends, and only the person who is creating the world actually has to have the Fallout First membership. You get a scrap box, which contains unlimited storage for all of your crafting components. You get a survival tent that will allow you to fast travel, and it has things like a stash and a sleeping bag. You get some in-game currency as well. You get 1,650 atoms per month to use in the atomic store. You get a cool ranger armor outfit if you really care about that. And finally, you get the most important thing in the world when it comes to video games. You get an icons and an emotes pack exclusively for Fallout First members. So essentially for $100 a year, you can now have private servers on Fallout First. And Bethesda has said that they are going to potentially include mod support for Fallout First as well. But this to me is just ridiculous, because Fallout 76 didn't really sell all that well. I feel like a lot of the player base for Fallout 76 has probably moved on to other projects. Like, it was an interesting idea, an interesting concept to have an online sort of Fallout thing, but really people wanted a more traditional Fallout experience. So what better way to piss off those people that are still playing Fallout 76 by introducing a monthly subscription service or a yearly subscription service for $13 a year or $100 or $13 a month or $100 a year. Like, I don't understand this, and it just makes absolutely no sense for a game like this to be getting this sort of support. Maybe if you guys are Fallout 76 fans, you can let me know in the comments section down below why this is a good idea for Fallout 76 players. Is this something that has been highly demanded, or is just Bethesda just trying to get more nickels and dimes out of people who have already played their game, since they don't have a big release coming in 2019 now? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, it looks like the Duke is coming back to Nintendo platforms, and this makes me very happy. We have not seen a Duke Nukem game, aside from the Bulletstorm skin, on a Nintendo platform in quite a while. It's actually been since Duke Nukem 64, I believe, was the last time we saw Duke Nukem on a Nintendo platform. But of course, Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour Edition came out on various platforms about 2 years ago or so. I actually reviewed the PS4 version of the game, and admittedly, I had a lot of fun with it. Obviously, some of the humor is a bit dated in today's PC sort of world, but it's a fun slapstick style game. It actually includes a new 5th scene as well that was written by original team members from Duke Nukem 3D. John St. John reprised his role as Duke Nukem and did new commentary and voiceovers for that 5th scene, and actually redid some of the other voiceovers for the game so that it sounds better on your HD systems and your HD sound setup. So it was a really fun game. It had offline multiplayer, had online multiplayer as well, and now it looks like this compilation is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch. An ESRB rating for for this game actually went up on the ESRB's website, which is pretty much confirming that Gearbox will be bringing Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour to the Nintendo Switch. Jesus Christ, that's a long name. And you know what? I am all for this. I had a blast playing it on the PS4. Definitely a very fun game, and I think Nintendo Switch owners will like this style of game. Obviously, things like Doom and Doom 2 have probably sold very well on the Nintendo Switch. It's fun to play those games again, those classic first-person PC shooters, and Duke Nukem 3D to me is just a timeless game. And the fact that it will probably include the online stuff in it as well is definitely a very cool thing. I want to say this game was around $10 to $20 when it originally released. I think they did a physical version of the game as well. There's no word if this will be getting a physical version on the Nintendo Switch, but even if it's just a download edition, I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into this game and kicking some ass and chewing bubblegum online, but I'm all out of bubblegum. Alright, so those are some video game stories that I definitely wanted to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, be sure to let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Be sure to slap that like button and get me 2,500 likes so that I can play a game about a firefighter in a loincloth. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be sure to check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.